DL women exist, and unfortunately, a lot of DL women hide behind female friendship. A lot of women who end up in these homoerotic or homo romantic relationships are DL women or bisexual women. I noticed that. And this has happened to me multiple times and has been very devastating to experience ending up in homoerotic relationships and not even realizing that you're being placed in one, especially if you are heterosexual, and you could be gay and still do not want to sleep with your female friends as a woman or date them. And I think it's a form of betrayal, especially for me when it happened to me multiple times. I felt betrayed by these women because some of them knew from day one that they were sexually attracted to me, and they said, I'm going to use friendship to get close to her, and then I'm going to go in for the kill to see if maybe she wants to date me. And just like how a man would do, just how like I've had male friends do, these women try to court me. And I'm thinking, oh, this is just a generous female friend. But in actuality, they were like trying to court me. And when I was hanging out with them, I was feeling like I was building a sistership with them. And they felt that they were building this rope or this line or this ladder to get closer to me romantically. And it was devastating at the end because eventually that perversion comes out. Eventually, how they feel, they can no longer hide it anymore. They're getting frustrated, or when they're around you, they get sexually frustrated, and eventually it comes out. It can come out violently, it can come out aggressively, it can come out freaked out, overly sexual. It can come out, them being so aggravated, like, don't you see I like you? So I'm gonna tell you three things that all of the women who put me in a homoerotic relationship or friendship with them did. So majority of all the women, they tried to literally buy me. So if we went out to dinner, the movie, shopping, the spa, they tried to pay for everything. Everything. I love men who are providers. That's the only type of men I date. And, through conversation with women, they got this information, through friendship, women talk. And so they basically took that information and started to show that they could be the provider in the relationship that we were going to end up in. So they would pay mainly for everything. And it started to make me uncomfortable because I have my own money, and we could be shopping and like, oh, no, no, watch out, I got it, and swipe their card. And I'm like, why are you paying for my clothes? Why are you paying for food? Why are you paying for the Uber? Why are you They wanted to pay for everything. It got really weird. Like we would be fighting who's going to pay. Another thing I noticed was they weren't affectionate. I'm not a huge affection person because I didn't grow up in an affectionate home. But when I see my homegirls, hey girl, I'm gonna give you a little side hug or a good embrace. Maybe not a kiss on the cheeks. I'm not like a kisser like that. But I noticed that they would like freeze up. Like go to hug them, and they would freeze up, or they would look so awkward. And I was like, what is that? And I think it was because they didn't want to show affection towards me because maybe it would turn them on, or they didn't want to like give it off. If I hug her too good or I touch her, then she's going to figure out that I like her in a sexual way. All of them did this, and I found it so strange. And I was thinking back to the person who essayed me when I was a child, and he was the same way. He would like just say, "Hey, how you doing?" pat me on my shoulder whenever we were in public, or didn't want to hug me or didn't want to give me any form of affection because he didn't want people to know the secret that he was essaying me. So all of these women did that. They never showed me any type of affection or public affection as a friend, And that really was like strange to me. Like, don't girls give each other a kiss on the cheek or hug each other when they see each other when they're meeting up? These girls, they like froze up or like looked at me strange, or it was just weird. I found that to be one of the strangest tells. And then all of a sudden, they started talking sexual, like, oh, I wonder how coochie tastes. And I'm like, huh? How you go from not giving me a hug to trying to test me to see what I would say about girl on girl action? Another thing all these women did was try to argue with men that I was seeing. So back in the day I used to like bring the guy I was talking to or dating, I don't know, was in a casual relationship with around my female friends. Like maybe they'll meet me at the club with my friends or a lounge or a barbecue or something like that, and I would introduce them. So I noticed that these women who were attracted to me, they're supposed to be my friend, they would find a way to argue or try to argue or get into an argument or say something negative about the guy I was seeing, even if he was a positive guy. Another thing is they would be nasty towards my other female friends. I even had two female friends who were in this homoerotic relationship with me, friendship with me, and they almost fought at one of my gatherings, and I was like, "What is going on?" And it was like literally like see almost watching two men fighting over me. I think they both knew that they both were attracted to me, and they almost ended up fighting at my event. But yes, that's all the little cues that I'm going to tell you for now. But what is some cues that you noticed that your friend was attracted to you, and how did you handle that? I'm not any of these women's friends to this day.